Welcome back to another episode of the Kai Beam Podcast. This is episode 10. This is Gamdo here, joining with my co-hosts Kai Beam
Yes, sir.
and Elusive Theory.
Yep, right here.
And today we got a lot of topics going on today. A little bit of everything actually.
Yeah, I'd say,
Yeah,
I'd definitely say that. It's a lot of shit.
uh, kind of want to start off on like a low note. Not a whole lot of people know who this is. Probably he had like a million subscribers, but a guy the name of Lao Shu, he ended up passing away last week. Anyone knows who Lao Shu 55,000 was? A he was a black dude that actually had like just the ability to speak a lot of languages. I mean, he loved the idea of speaking a bunch of languages, specifically like Mandarin, Cantonese. He could speak Vietnamese. Just honestly, every single thing. I don't think this man had a limit as far as what he could not speak. And every single video that he did, I noticed every person he interacted with in the beginning, they kind of had like their guard up when he would speak, when he's like asking questions about their nationality. But when he actually speaks their language, you kind of see like the shift in behavior and just the excitement in their eyes whenever he would actually speak the language. And I feel like it's very important, because as language kind of evolves in like the culture, I feel like it's important to preserve language since I see it personally as part of the DNA of culture within people. So yeah, R.I.P. to Lao Shu, man. Like, guy was like 39, but he sounded from the experience and how many languages you can speak. He lived 39 lives. So R.I.P. to him. We tried to get Witty to join, and kind of like I said, kind of like some sad stuff going on. Like there's some things in life kind of reminds you of your mortality. And
Yeah,
recently we had someone from our high school who passed away. I knew him personally, and I'm not gonna lie, the feeling that you feel when you find out that people around your age, especially so young, are passing away the way that they are. Now, I mean, other people have different experiences with death. Yeah, it's a weird time going on here, but yeah, let's all take a couple seconds of silence for that.
yeah, man. I just want to interject with that. Yeah, again with that mortality thing. It's like, we are still so young. Like, we're in the age range of like 25, 30 in that age range, which is still pretty young. And yeah, when I heard that news, because yeah, I had tried to get Witty to see if he was gonna, pop in, and he had told me that. I was like, shit, because even I knew this person. I talked to them here and there. I wasn't super close with them or anything, but still, it's just I don't know the word for it. It's kind of like you just get to see everything in like a wide scope when you just hear that. It's like, man, at any point you just never know when it's your time. You just don't. But yeah, rest in peace. And yeah, I'm not sure where you guys want to go from there. I mean,
Well, let's start with the most let's start with music. Music seems to be the thing going on because I don't usually talk about music like that. I'm not really an audiophile like that. Not in the same perspective as Kai Beam here, but recently Doja Cat released her music video of her song Street. Just real quick, like despite the fact all the kind of weird shit she does, she is a genius when it comes to her visuals in her music videos. Just the idea that her song was an inspiration for like the TikTok trend, and she ended up bringing that back in her own music video. I think, man, you cannot get any better than that at all. Like, it's crazy. Just that's probably one of my favorite thing about Doja Cat, despite the fact that like she has like some catchy lyrics, like just visually, like she's really good as an artist with her music videos. But Let's talk about this Drake thing though, because
Yeah,
you know about Drake.
when you actually, because I checked the topic out in the article, and yeah, I mean, so what we're referring to basically is that basically people are saying that it seems like Drake's going to be retiring soon, but um, yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember like way back when, maybe when it was around the time when it was like Views, when he released Views, and I'm pretty sure he was saying that around like 35 he was probably going to retire, and I mean he's getting kind of close to there at this point because around then he was like what, like 29, 30, like just getting to his 30s, and what is he, like 33 now? So I mean, here's the thing, like that I've heard though people always talk about is like, do artists ever really retire? Because they say they do, right? They may not make music for X amount of years, and then randomly they'll just release a project out of nowhere. So I don't know. He could be saying music now to put on the back burner and then focus on other things. Kind of like, yeah, who's the biggest example you can use for that? Rihanna, right? Like, she still makes music. It's just her focus is not music anymore. So I don't know if he is. I'm sure he has some shit he's probably working on that in terms of like business and stuff that he probably has ideas for because that nigga is smart. And yeah, I mean, I will listen to his next album, and I plan on doing like a probably like a mini review and stuff like that. I'm trying to like, I've actually kind of been lacking or slacking on like newer projects and stuff. There's just so much music released at one time sometimes that it's just like fuck. It's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. In terms
I
of
would I would
oh,
say he should just go ahead and just like retire. Like the best thing I would say is like if you feel like you need to retire, because like from the article on Rolling Stone, it's like he's pretty much just saying he's tired of his success. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't personally like Drake as a musician, as an artist, like as far as his work. But I would be stupid to say that he isn't successful at all. I would just say like, yeah, if you feel like you need to retire, you probably should because it takes one. That's all it does when you honestly start to fall off the slope and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, retiring gracefully is always always a thing. It's better that than falling off, like you were saying. And
and does he have his masters for his music?
oh, nigga, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wait, actually, no, I don't know if he does or not.
Because that's the thing.
Because I could have swore I saw somewhere that Wayne sold his and. Oh, no, I don't think he. Maybe he partially does. Maybe there's some, because you never know with the music business. There's always like these. There's a lot of just stuff going on. Like, because I know recently, like, was it like either late last year or early this year that Wayne, Little Wayne, I mean, like sold his and Nicki's like catalog to someone.
What do you mean if you said masters? It's just like his
Masters is,
contract.
yeah, no, like all of his body of work, like all of
Yeah,
his stuff, basically.
Oh,
because
so
if
just in case royalties should always be going to him
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
going to somebody else.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like record labels and stuff like that.
Gotcha,
Because if you don't
gotcha.
have
But
your
but
if
I
you don't have your like
think
your record or if you don't have your masters, you basically are forced to do whatever the record label wants. Because Logic got caught up in this too. That's the reason why his like quality in music was just starting to become trash because the record label or whatever was forcing him to make all these albums, and he's just like, I can only talk about my biracialness so many times, and they're like, keep putting it out there. I don't want to hear it, and he ended up making
yeah.
stripper music, and that was the last time you heard
Oh
him.
my god, dude! I remember
Well,
listening to solo songs like
at least he
so
ended up on
trash.
a medium note where he's now a Twitch streamer of
Yeah, yeah.
sorts.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the wave, man. Shit, why not? Still make
But at least
money.
he's working for himself, right? I mean,
Yeah,
considering like Twitch signed a very big contract with him, but still making money right there.
yes,
yeah.
sir. I agree. Yeah, this is. I just want to quickly add in there towards the end of this discussion, like, yeah, there's just so many. From what I've learned and listened to in terms of like the music business, there's so many different factors. So like maybe Drake has a has a contract or had a contract with Wayne when he signed the Young Money back when, you know, So Far Gone era. And perhaps he's only getting a percentage, which is why when Wayne sold his shit, maybe he's still getting residuals from that. But maybe he just doesn't own it entirely. I have no idea. I mean,
Well, he does have OVO sound, so that's definitely he definitely isn't in Cash Money anymore. Well, which
yeah,
okay, if that's the case, that makes sense because since he does own OVO, that's the reason why he was able to delay his own album.
yeah, yeah,
So that makes sense. Yeah, then yeah, okay.
yeah.
Go ahead
So
and do it, Drake.
yeah, yeah, man, do whatever you feel is necessary, dude. You had like a fucking over 10 year run. I mean,
And
I don't
also,
think that's going to be duplicated at all anytime
yeah,
soon.
yeah, and just being that creative requires a lot of energy, you know.
It
So maybe
does.
right now he's feeling burned out. So hey, take your retirement early, man. I mean, in most of his music, he's always saying he's going to retire before he's 40, right? So he's
Yeah,
sticking to
Yeah.
his word.
yeah.
Plus, he has a son now, so he has to take care of him unless he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be a deadbeat. Well,
Yeah.
shout out to you, Drake. You helped out all of the down bad kids from the ages of 12 to 25.
All right.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we're not going to be going in any particular order. We're just going to be jumping around. I actually wanted to get to this topic last podcast, but we just figured because it was, you know, it was kind of long last time. So I just put this in here because I found it interesting. I don't know if anyone out there like is interested in this stuff, but basically there was a ferret that died 33 years ago, and I know we a lot of people have been talking about the whole cloning thing, but this is basically a story where they basically just confirmed, yeah, we just successfully cloned like a Blackfoot ferret that died in 1998, and now it's just like that shit is kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, they're not releasing them out to the wild or anything, but it's still just like, yeah, that shit is getting pretty advanced now. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be. And the reason this topic was so interesting was because off mic, like a while ago, me and Gamdo were having this conversation. When it comes to humans, and I've talked to Izzy about this too as well, but when it comes to like human cloning, we were talking about how like will the clone have a soul of sorts? Will it like there was just this kind of discussion we were having, like in terms of like memories and just is that person that clone is that a separate person to you, like, or is it, there's just a lot of different factors like that just makes that interesting. I don't know how when we'll get to human cloning, but
So
that shit is gonna
okay,
be
let me
wild.
get what you're saying. You're saying like if they actually successfully clone a ferret, is the ferret retain the memory of that
Yeah,
previous ferret that died? So
yeah,
if they move that to human cloning, can if they actually successfully clone a person, can that person also retain the memory of the previous person, or should I say whoever they are cloned from? Do they have all that memory, all that experiences within that new clone body? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I said because
yeah.
I said that like because first of all like cloning humans is illegal.
Right.
It's federally illegal.
For
Um,
now.
I could word that. Well, I mean, honestly, I would say indefinitely because of the fact that you had gene splicing and genetic engineering, and that's what I thought they could get to the point to where it would be legal. But the thing is, though, is like anyone who doesn't know gene splicing and genetic engineering, like the idea of using a limb, say you lost a limb, and they would take pieces of your tissue and regrow a limb for you, which I think honestly I'm all for it because first
Right.
of all,
Yeah.
if you're caught in an accident and say you lose a foot or something like that, you get it regrown back. You get it regrown back. There's honestly, I would say there's kind of no consequences to that. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact they made it illegal, they're only going to move on to animals because it's a tricky business. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but it's just my point is that like yeah, if you clone someone, would they retain that memory because that's the same genetic makeup as you?
Yeah, I don't think anybody who gets cloned from another person is gonna retain that memory because think about it, like your memory is just a cumulative experience that you already have. And if the clone was, say, grown in a lab, they're not gonna have any of that experience at all. They're just gonna be kind of like a blank slate,
Well, I
unless
mean,
they,
like think of it like this: like,
Mm.
say you got cloned yesterday, and they grew you like to a full-grown male to
right.
your current age. Would you keep that memory? Like, would memories start to surface back? Like, would there be like some sort of like some like connection between the original and then your clone?
I don't
Yeah,
think there's gonna be much
that
of a connection.
because I
I mean,
was.
there
Oh,
may
go ahead.
be some like flashes and here and there, but that is just gonna serve to like confuse the clone, in my opinion.
I mean, that's how you get a lot of movies in the 80s.
That is
Because
true.
you remember that movie,
Uh,
The Island, with Ewan McGregor when he
Right.
was like a clone. That's what I was thinking. Like that's how similar I think it could end up being. They didn't have like the full memory. They had like glimpses and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can
And
see that. I can see that where they just have glimpses and experiences of their owner, which because like people memory it's really selective anyway because most of the times the things that people remember a lot is either something traumatic or something very like that made them very happy. So that's like one of the memories that always is just more dominant in a person.
yeah,
So I think if something like that happened, probably clone's gonna be remembering the dominant and the most dominant memories, like such as like traumatic event and probably happy event. Those may surface, but
yeah.
I
And
don't
the
yeah,
I
thing,
don't think they're gonna
I was.
retain all that memory.
I was actually thinking because I was discussing, or not really discussing. My buddy Tom just told me about it. Like in that article that we were talking about, they basically said there's a place in Texas, I believe, where if your pet dies, you can take it there to get cloned and just get it like you never lost it, basically. So I was just wondering. I was like, damn. So uh, my cat like died last year, and I was like, so if I were to take her and get her cloned, I wonder because this discussion we're having right here, would she know who I was, or would I have to go through the bonding experience all over again? Would she have the flashes like, oh yeah, I remember when X happened, so I kind of know who he is, but maybe this bonding still has to happen. Like it's just a,
Well,
it's just
I
a
think the
interesting.
bonding may have to happen all
Yeah,
over again
yeah,
because it's pretty much like you're getting a completely new cat. I don't know if they're gonna have the cat like a a baby kitten or is it gonna be a full grown cat? Either way, but I think it's going
yeah,
the bonding is gonna have to happen all over again.
yeah.
I
Cause
seriously do think it all depends on like what at what point in time are they cloned? Are they like a newborn baby? And honestly, like I said, I can't see people getting cloned because it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. Like you put another person in the world, you got to think like legally, or not even like legally. Like, is this person considered a citizen? Does this person have rights? Does this
Right.
person own a house? Like, there's so is your clone tied to your own social security, which means whatever actions they make is detrimental to you. Like, you
yeah,
can't
that's true.
you wouldn't be able to do anything because it's just like that person can't go out in public. You end up having a clone. Next thing you know, this guy's murdering people for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
pretty
true.
sure they're gonna have your fingerprints too. So
Oh
everything
yeah,
you
they'd have
do
all
to
that
make
shit.
markup is gonna be the same. And also another thing I'm thinking about with that subject is like eventually, since like with all the deforestation, everything that's going on, and people doing game hunting and such, like all these like species that we have out there that is becoming endangered, eventually most of them are gonna end up being having to be recloned instead of birthing them because like I said, it's just gonna be endangered, right? So if like say cattle and stuff and things start getting mad cow diseases and stuff and so many most of the meats and shit that we eat
Yeah.
are becoming scarce, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna start making clone animals and in essence they use those clone animals uh as a new meat source for humans? I don't
Yeah,
know that.
I would think so. I
And
personally would think they would do that. Just because
yeah,
like you just look at the industry of just you know, how they, what they do in terms of like meat and all that stuff, which is really disgusting. So I don't see why they wouldn't go that low as to like, and that's just the thing too. Like, what are the adverse effects of that? Like eating cloned
Exactly,
meat.
eating clone meat.
Yeah, that's a
I would
very
say I feel like it would depend. If you do that Proud Family shit where you make them with clone from like peanuts or something, yeah, I probably don't want to consume that. But I mean, like if you're doing it where like they use like bone marrow from like a ferret or something like that, and they cloned it that way, like I feel like that's more like organic, better than
yeah.
like using like a head of lettuce and somehow making a sheep or something like that. Like
I mean,
Yeah,
they're already doing that right now though with the plant based meats and stuff like that. So
and
yeah,
I could have swore someone told me to, like, I don't know how true that is, but they were telling me like a lot of the fish, like I think he was talking about salmon specifically, like how they have like fish farms where they like clone
yeah,
the fish,
they do.
and then because there are no wild salmon anymore, or something like that, they have to clone them just to make like food.
Yeah,
It's just like
and have
it's
them like
fucking
in a
crazy.
big kind of like a big aquarium of sort where they actually have them live until they're fully grown, and then obviously take them out of there and go start selling them to people. So most of
Huh.
the fishing are not done in the wild anymore for most companies, and they're just grown in a plant
Yeah.
where it's just specifically like kind of like how they have a chicken poultry. They have like a fish plant or fish farm where they actually do have like it's not cloning the fish per se. It's more along the line of they have these fish. They have a lot of these fish that they try to make organically make them mate to create more
Oh,
fishes and stuff.
okay, okay, I got you. Well, I
Yeah,
just want to quickly say, in terms of the whole cloning thing, I think it would be good specifically for like animals in general, just because you know we have a lot of species that have gone extinct because of man-made shit that we've done in the environment.
right.
And yeah, I mean, just to have like the ecosystem be to where it needs to be, because when you lose a species, you don't really know how that's going to affect, you know, the environment, because now there's nothing to check and stop these guys from, you know, mating and just having a whole bunch of them, and they just tear down that entire
I
ecosystem. You know,
I
it's
know
just, you know,
we know what happens when species is taken out of the food chain.
yeah,
It fucks up stuff, and that's where we have like few things as climate change really getting messed up right now because of all the
yeah.
deforestation that is going on in the world.
yeah,
So yeah, we know what happens. It's just a lot of people don't pay attention to it because it's not happening like
to them.
to them.
It
Yeah.
doesn't affect them personally.
No,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
affects everybody. It's just it is not apparently like the effects is just really slow
yeah, yeah. I agree.
and nobody is ever paying attention to it. Because
Yeah.
sometimes like over here you see all these new shopping malls and all these new estates and stuff popping up. You have it's pretty much all deforestation, and you already have a whole bunch of houses and shit popping up, right?
Hmm.
But did you wonder where all the animals who were in that specific location, where did it go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't have anywhere to go, because
exactly.
if you
So
already had these buildings and complexes and malls and other things that have already been existing there, and you're adding on to it, yeah,
yeah,
there was nowhere they would have gone but just to died, you know.
exactly. Or you
So
come home one day, you see a damn alligator in your backyard. Guess
yeah,
what? You stumbled upon his home first and try to drive everything that lives in that area out. So of course they're gonna be trying to go into your house to find new food to eat and such. So
yeah.
That's the whole thing about invasive species is they
Invasive species. I was just about to bring
track
that
to
up.
like
Hmm.
plants and even animals and
Yeah,
clone those two things. Don't clone us. We don't need more
yeah.
people here.
no,
We
we really
don't
don't.
we don't. But I was just gonna say quickly, like the whole invasive species thing. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but I love watching River Monsters, because that shit is just interesting. I don't know, with Jeremy Wade, and he was doing this episode this one time where I believe this fish was called the pacu, and it was an invasive species. They ate up all the fucking plants in the water. They're originally like herbivores. But since
Right.
they ate up all the shit in the water, what do they start doing? They start going after like carnivorous behavior. Like they were biting people's genitals and all this kind of wild
Oh
shit.
my god.
Yeah, dude. And I was just
Because they were
like,
hungry, you know.
fucking
That's
hell,
what
dude.
happens.
Like
That's
that's
what
just
happens,
crazy.
man.
It's
Because
crazy.
now you're gonna be wondering, hey, I'm saying, like, they always make these stupid movies where sharks are in tornadoes and sharks are freaking flying and shit. Eventually, if sharks don't have enough food to eat in the ocean, trust me, they're gonna evolve to a fucking place where they can come on land and start eating people. So
Yeah,
That would take a
yeah.
long. That
It
would
would
take
take
a
a while.
long,
it would
long
take
Yeah,
a
time.
long time, but
it would
it
take
is
a while.
possible
It's
because
possible for maybe like a next 500 years because like I mean, certain sharks go on a certain level of the ocean as far as depth wise,
right,
and the ocean has been only about I'd say like 5% of the ocean has been discovered.
right.
Yeah, and
So
the thing is though, there are some scary species out there, man. Because I don't remember what I don't want to say the wrong shark type, but I know there's a shark that has evolved to the point where it can not only survive in salt water but fresh water as well, which is like that's just not like
I mean
fuck.
that doesn't
That's
concern me because first of
yeah.
all, I'm never gonna be caught in the ocean, and
No, I'm not. And
why
nigga,
would I just buy
I
a shark
a
and then
nigga
fill it with
like.
tap water?
Like after watching River Monsters, I don't care where I am. If I'm on a vacation and you tell me to get in the water, nigga, no. I am the
But
shit he pulls out of the fucking some of those places is like yeah, I'm staying out of the water.
that's
Pools,
the
fine.
that's the
But
thing though. The ocean is like essential for like the survival of this planet.
oh,
So
for sure,
if
for sure.
if all the creatures in the ocean starts dying off because one animal in there is like changing up his diet because it's not getting enough of whatever the hell it used to eat, and now it's just attacking other species because it want to fulfill its appetite of being hungry. Yeah, that could always have an adverse effect because now you're going to see the entire ocean is going to be only sharks left instead of whales and all the other swimming species that's in there. So yeah, it's really bad because we just really need to pay attention to that, and
Yeah,
just not brush it off as it's not affecting us.
I
yeah.
mean, all that stuff that happens as far as animals and like if we end up losing speed, it's mostly our fault.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
for
and it
if
always
for
something
is,
sure,
if
bro.
for
something
sure.
if something were to disappear suddenly, chances are
It's
the
humans' fault.
fingers are pointed at us
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
nature
especially
evolves on its own. If the shark decided to randomly be like, you know what, I think I'm going to start eating some octopi this time, switching up my diet, and something else will take its place.
yeah.
It's just how evolution works.
yeah.
But I mean,
But that's the thing, though. The next thing that takes its place may be more extreme than the actual shark, So
oh yeah, for sure. Like if
Yeah.
octopus decided to go alpha, they end up becoming like the sea life and murderers and stuff like that. It's fucking over. As smart as those things are right there, they will choke you out.
yep.
They will seriously outmaneuver you. Pray to God they don't start growing teeth and razor claws or something, whatever.
Yeah, no, because seriously, as funny as that is, like you take a look at like how submarine life has evolved. Like take for instance, stingrays, right, dude? You do not want to get like stabbed by that barb they have on the back. That shit is covered in like poison and shit. I'm just like, and you have like shit like electric eels where these niggas like shock the shit out of you. Like it's just like, what the fuck? Like where did they? What needed to happen for you to evolve to get to that? Like it's just like that shit is
I mean,
insane.
it's
But
because
you know,
they've been prey for so many ocean life, so that's the only
yeah,
way they can
yeah,
defend themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
interesting stuff.
moving
Yeah,
away from that topic,
yeah,
we've
because
been
we
on
kind
here
of
for a
stuck.
while.
Yeah, we kind of stuck. Yeah.
Scientists and sticking to science, scientists announced a physical warp drive is now possible.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know anything about quantum physics. To be
I don't. I
honest,
don't either. I just
on
added
a
this in here because I thought it was interesting. I have no idea like all this scientific shit. I just thought it was fucking cool. Like,
it's interesting on a science fiction level, but I mean, honestly, like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't really know. Like, first of all, I don't even know what a quantum drive really is, or a physical warp drive. I mean, okay, the concept of warp speed travel, doesn't do shit for me. Seriously, doesn't because for one, like space wise, I don't know. Like, this shit that's kind of weird. It doesn't affect me at all. Like this is weird. You
Yeah,
take it from here.
yeah. I just think it's just I just added it because I thought it was cool. I don't know how long it'll take for them to actually build something like that, but I mean, the only reason I say this is you want to meet other life, right? I mean, not in our lifetime, but still, you know, we can communicate with aliens and
I mean,
get eradicated.
having a quantum drive slash warp travels thing, it really may actually help humans, because this planet is dying, and if we can create a warp drive where we can find other planets that is inhabitable by humans, I mean, obviously we may somehow in some way obviously fuck up that planet too, but it could also like alleviate some of the stress that the Earth is on, move
I
people to
mean,
other planets.
I
honestly,
And
mean,
we had this conversation before. If they find a new planet, chances are the three of us are not on that
oh,
waiting
no,
list.
no,
of course,
no,
we're
we're
not going to be on
not. I
that
was just
list.
about to say,
We're
like, we've
no, we're
talked
not.
about this plenty of times, like the 100 and stuff. Yeah,
Our
the rich
pockets not deep
people,
enough for that.
they're gonna be fine. All of the rest of us niggas, we're dead. Like, that's just the bottom line. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not.
I
I'm
guess,
I,
I'm really I'm really indifferent about this article because it really does not. It's not gonna affect my life in any
yeah,
shape or
I don't
form.
think I'm gonna be alive long enough to see that come to
oh, yeah,
fruition.
sure.
Because
Like, I just added it because I just thought it was cool. It was just a topic tag. So,
gotcha.
moving on. Actually, we can stick into kind of this realm. I just found this shit very interesting. You don't actually have to click on it. It's kind of like so. The CDC, right? They released a guide to surviving a zombie apocalypse. Like I just why?
You gotta be prepared for everything, brother. You can't just go and be lazy fade around and just say, "Hey, man, there's always gonna be zombies
Honestly,
I'll ask again. Why?
I'm not
Like
gonna lie. That is probably the dumbest thing they probably could have ever done
you
because
have to be
I will.
yeah,
prepared, bro."
No. Yes, having like benefit of the doubt is a good thing to have, but it's just like we're somewhat recovering from a pandemic. You're gonna share an article about, hey, here's what to do if there's a zombie apocalypse. Promo image, Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead. Like, what the fuck? No,
yeah,
dead ass.
it's
That's what you would see. That's what you saw in the CDC article using
Oh my.
Walking Dead as an example. And here's another thing too. At this point right here, because if there is a zombie virus, let me tell you, it was man made. I guarantee
yeah.
you.
Oh,
Yep.
nigga, definitely. It
So if
was
they're saying
definitely
that
man made.
shit,
That's what I'm
honestly,
saying.
stay the fuck
This
away from me.
Yeah, no, because the reason I put this shit in here because I don't remember what we were talking about. I remember us talking about something like this. We were talking about viruses and just how like off mic. I mean, how just like how like we're so quick to celebrate and how maybe something worse is probably gonna
Oh
come in
no,
the
something
future.
worse than the
The
pandemic that we're having
corona.
right now is going to happen.
Yeah, and it's just like you see shit like this, and it's like, what the fuck are these niggas planning, dude? Like, are you planning to just be like, yeah, let's see how they interact with zombies. Let's go ahead and make some. Why not? Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
no.
fucking weird. It's just
Like
fucking
honestly,
weird.
my sister shared this article to me, and honestly, I looked at it for like a split second, and I actually just put my phone down because I was just like, this is the dumbest fucking thing. Because anyone, and I remind you, this is one of the reasons why, and it can kind of connect to genetic engineering. While there will never be clones, because there are no test subjects for humans that they'll ever do to do that. If you have cloning, yeah, chances are they would do that because that means that person has no rights. They can use them for experiments, all these sort of diseases and stuff, and that's how you get that shit. That stuff is so fucking dumb, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like uh how you say adding more on that subject, because like there's just some genetic markup and like natural defenses that our body have that the clone itself may not have, because just from growing up as a kid, you've been putting all kinds of foolishness in your mouth, so your body is like developing natural immunities to like common germs and codes and stuff like that.
hmm
Whoever was cloned may not even have that kind of defense. They may
Mm-hmm.
be most
No.
susceptible to like really highly dangerous viruses. So in that sense,
Uh,
since they have the human genetic makeup,
well,
as soon as they get in,
that's why they're always wearing those lab suits and stuff like that, and putting them in
right,
like a white bubble room.
well, exactly, because as soon as they get infected, it's already since they have the human genetic markup, it's gonna be really contagious to any human because the virus already knows the system of what is gonna be infecting and how it's gonna like evolve really quickly just to do the most amount of damage. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually also quickly wanted to add in because I had overheard this on this topic too. Like, my mom was telling me about it actually. Is like, do you guys remember like a while back when like the whole bath salts thing, like where people were like apparently like some sort of new drug and it was like causing people to like eat people or something like that. Like
The hell?
apparently, yeah,
It was like a
apparently,
drug that, well, not really a
yeah,
drug, kind
yeah,
of like if you
apparently,
inhale it, it would do that.
yeah, apparently that was just a cover up, and they kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of pushed it to the background because apparently like it happened to like two people. I think like there was a black guy and a white guy. Like the black guy, they had just shot. Of course, they had just shot him on sight when they caught him like cannibalizing people. But when they went to the not the morgue but the coroner or whatever, when they had done the
Autopsy.
autopsy, it revealed that they didn't even have like bath salts in their system. It was just like them just going wild and nuts, and it's like it's not like that's
Yeah, I would
not.
say that's a sign of zombieism.
No,
Like
I'm not. I'm just saying.
that person
I
could
don't.
turn into a cannibal
Yeah,
or something.
maybe it is. I have no idea, but that shit
Or,
is still just kind of like,
or maybe it's just an adverse effect of like increasing the person aggression level and stuff because that's how all
yeah,
that shit
Yeah,
always starts, you know.
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like I don't know, like bath salts, toxicology and stuff like that. You can never really tell, like if it leaves your system or not, like if it's even visible. Like I don't know, when that stuff actually came out, I was just like, man, that person was probably really hungry and very aggressive, and they made it illegal. I mean, there are a lot of drugs out there that causes you to just lose all sense of self, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not audible or you're not verbal. I mean, and you're just fucking a lot of shit up. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't believe it. I don't think it's like a backdoor. Honestly, I just think it's just something that happens when you take too many drugs in your system and you just go insane. PCP will do the same thing, honestly.
Yep. Any
Mm-hmm.
kind of drugs just fucking limit your cognitive ability and just like increase any kind of other level of aggression or just limits your decision making, you know.
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse would be interesting if it actually
I'll
happened.
be the first one to die.
Oh yeah.
I don't have
Everyone is dead.
I don't have enough
Everyone.
cardio to outrun any
Everyone is
zombie.
dead. I would seriously go to my military base because I would that would
Yeah,
probably be the safest because
exactly. At
everyone
least I'll survive long enough
yeah,
by going
everyone
to a
else would
military
be
base.
dead. Boston gone, LA gone, Texas gone.
Because
This
you know how in Zombieland they have all these rules for surviving the zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse, and
yeah,
cardio
yeah,
cardio is one of them. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't have enough cardio for that.
it,
I'm out.
it it's done. It's fucking done,
Yeah.
honestly. But
That's fucked up to think about.
I
But
mean
I
it's the
mean,
truth.
I'm checking
yeah.
myself out already. I'm telling you the truth, bro. I don't have enough cardio to outrun a zombie. I don't
And
know.
it's not even just the fact it's not even just the fact that you would even need the cardio to survive a zombie apocalypse. You guys are already pessimistic as it is. As soon as
Yeah,
zombie
I'm not
apocalypse
even.
happens,
I'm not even
people are
going.
shooting each other. It's
Oh
over.
no,
Pretty
no,
much.
nigga,
Like
lawlessness over a
over
thousand,
and yep.
nigga. Like
Pretty much.
there is no law. If that nigga does not like the way you look at him, he's shooting you in his face. Like that's just yeah.
And
It's gonna be
who's
nuts.
gonna prove that person wasn't a zombie? What, the guy who got shot? Come on. Cops
I
are
Exactly.
mean,
cops are gonna be having their hands full trying to take care of their own family members, so they're not gonna be trying to investigate shit like that.
Yeah,
no.
shit's wild, man. But moving on, I guess we can kind of go into gaming. So I don't know if you guys looked into this game at all. I was just kind of curious. I mean, it looks like it could be cool if it was,
What
done
is it?
right. It's they're actually making an Aliens game, but it's called Aliens Fire Team, and it's basically kind of like co-op, and you're just like going against like aliens, like clearing shit out and
All
going
right. For
against all.
first question with that, what are the microtransaction rate looking like?
I mean, who's making
They
the who's the studio making the game?
Cold Iron Studios. I don't
Who's the
know.
publisher? Who's the publisher?
Let me see. Just give me a moment. Uh, Cold
I mean,
Iron
it's
Studios. I don't see. It's publishing.
I mean, I think an alien game will be cool if they don't. If it's like a live service
Yeah,
based, then I'm gonna just check it out. Like check it off my list because I don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to pay
Live
for
service. Yeah,
live
live
service.
service is fucking garbage. Like obviously, we've talked about this
20th
before.
Century Games
Mm,
is the publisher.
20th
There
century
there are no
games.
loot boxes or microtransactions in the game. So
Good,
Okay,
good, good.
yeah,
that's
Yeah,
good.
uh,
I may check it out then.
yeah. Because I mean, it looked cool. The trailer looked pretty cool. I mean, they have all these different alien types that you can be fighting, and you're supposed to. Your job basically is like you and your friends go out. You're like mercenaries, I think, and you're like clearing out alien infested bases and stuff. So it sounds pretty cool if it's done right.
Yeah, and from what I saw on that, did it say it happened like 20 or 50 years after the last Alien movie or something of that sort?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Oh
So
yeah, it may be
yeah,
cool.
man,
uh,
definitely, I'll check it out.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you guys seem to be like the test people. Because honestly, I don't know if it's just because of the fact that like games are just kind of like just not good in quality that
Oh
I
no,
just like I don't
oh
really
oh
have a
no,
lot
it
of
is.
oh,
interest in it
oh
It
no.
because
What?
definitely is.
I
It's
seriously like have stopped like having a lot of interest in playing games recently. Like in new games like Outriders, I was trying to play with these guys, and the first thing I thought about was just like, man, this is like Diet Destiny right here. Because first of all, I couldn't even jump. That's a big telltale red flag for me right there. If you can't jump in a video game, I don't want it. And then it's just, I don't know. Like
no,
I hope it
it's
actually looks good because like I do want to keep the interest of gaming in mind. Like
yeah, but that's just it. We've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure. Like that's not any fault of your own. It's just the games industry currently. It's pretty garbo. Like it's
Yeah,
just
it's just all about
just
hype. Like they will
yeah,
hype
it's
up something and
hype
just come
and
with a big
fucking
disappointment.
faking and
Overpromise
yeah,
nonsense.
showing you shit that's not actually shit, and then you get the game and it's fucked up. Like Cyberpunk comes to mind, the most recent. It's like there's really not much to be excited about. There's really not because
And like
they
the
could be
biggest
lying to you.
surprises are just like indie games that are actually pretty good, and you don't even have to make them like with like their most highest of budget that these AAA games says they're used to make their games, and the indie games are much more fun and more engaging than all these AAA games, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
sure.
speaking of hype and speculation, Assassin's Creed, Japan could possibly be a thing for a 2020 or 2022 release, and from the leaks of it, there's like a bunch of them. I saw like a leak for Assassin's Creed for being in France again. One was being like Assassin's Creed tournament where you can actually create your own characters. I'm not gonna lie,
Nigga, just go to fucking
stay the fuck
Japan.
away from that shit right
Go
there
to
because
fucking
like
Japan, man. Like
yeah, exactly.
stop holding out on it, man. Like just fucking do it.
The leak said that there's a chance that if it's in Japan, the protagonist would be a female protagonist named Keiko Shiatori. And honestly, I'm all for it. I'm all for the idea of having a single protagonist, and because I'm not gonna lie, the idea of having two protagonists who aren't like well fleshed out characters already, like Evie and Jacob Fry, who have their own personalities, it makes for a really sucky like storytelling. It just sucks for a story. So
Hmm.
if you're gonna like choose like a gender and you're gonna have a female protagonist, I'm all up for it because chances are if they do it right, she's gonna have a pretty interesting story to tell. And it kind
Hmm.
of seems like they're trying to do a polar opposite of Ghost of Tsushima too, where it's like they don't want to copy having a male protagonist and all that stuff. But I gotta say, if they do end up making this game Japan and it's a Keiko, make her fighting and movement fluid. Like, don't make that shit
Yeah,
clunky.
they
Because
need they
the
need to
one thing,
rehaul
yeah,
that combat
exactly.
system.
They what they did with Valhalla, like what turned me off the most was just how Eivor, no matter what gender they were moving as if they had like boulders or like weighted vests on for the entire game, and when they were climbing, the climbing made no sense at all. Like they're just climbing on shit that shouldn't be feasibly possible. So do that. Just just do something else. Don't do this whole thing like, oh, we love Witcher. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because if I'm thinking of any Assassin's Creed that is based in Japan, I'm expecting the character to be really fluid, when you're
Yeah.
playing, not really bulky or any of that sort, because it's gonna be more about skills over strength, in my opinion.
And
Yeah.
If
stealth.
anything, yeah, stealth.
Stealth. Yeah,
Make this
definitely.
the stealth has been severely lacking because even in like Odyssey, they would do this thing where because actually I'll just say from my own experience, like they have the option to be stealthy, but really they encourage you to just
Hack
go
and
manic
slash.
and
Yeah.
just burst in there, just start hacking at people. Sometimes I did that too in Valhalla. Like I wouldn't even be at the right level. I would just jump in there and just kill as much people as I can until they just took me down with an axe. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it's good, and I hope they rehaul everything. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
well, it
So
would be a next gen. It would be a true next gen game. So like, chances are they'll most likely change the engine. If they don't, they're fucking stupid. But um,
yeah.
yeah, moving on to that right there.
We have.
Xbox and Bethesda
Mhm.
actually had their conference. And I guess both of you guys were before, because we were talking about this. You guys were saying that you would get an Xbox Series X because of the Game Pass. And now that Bethesda said that most of their new games will come out as Xbox exclusives, does that solidify your decision to get an Xbox?
I
Well, yeah,
mean,
I mean
Izzy, you go.
definitely,
You
but
can go. Go ahead.
let's say, because I that okay, let me put it this way. It depends what I can get first, either the Series X or my new graphics card. So if I get my new graphics card first, then that's just out of the question. I'm not getting the Series X because pretty much everything they release on the Xbox Series X, they said they're going to release it on PC too. So
Right.
it just doesn't create any incentive for me to get a Series X if they're going to release that exclusive on PC. It's
Yeah.
where I stand with that.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't know. Everything's caught up in the air for me. I want Bethesda. We talked about this off mic as well. I want Bethesda. I'm sure Microsoft is going to have them actually finish their fucking games because the last game I got from them, which was Fallout 76, when I got that launched, that was just like, okay, yep, I'm staying the fuck away from you. Um, I'm hoping Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be good. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We know fuck all about Starfield, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm just gonna be cautiously optimistic and hope that they actually do some cool shit and the games are good. We'll see. Make a decision when
Yeah.
when it happens. So
Not, I think that most of that games are going to be good because with the partnership that they have with Microsoft right now, I don't think Microsoft is going to allow them to like smear their brand name by releasing half-baked games.
No, I mean it kind of sucked with the Halo, like Infinity or whatever the hell it was called, with as far as like just how it looked, because it was
Right,
just so outdated looking. But
yep.
with the game and name like Bethesda, they're probably going to be like, hey, like chop chop, you need to get this shit done, and it needs to be right.
right.
Honestly, I'm really when I saw the news, I was actually happy. Not just because of the fact that I have a PC and I could just say fuck everyone, but it's just like the idea of this is competition right here. I love it because
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the way PlayStation is set up right now, you have your exclusives. Yeah, you have Ghost of Tsushima, you have Spider Man, and everything. But Xbox never had any of those things, and now that they do, they have a really huge title. on their belt,
Yeah,
hey,
it's gonna
chances are they're gonna be like, hey,
let's
let's
step
find
up
some
our
other
game.
stuff on PS4 or the
Right.
PlayStation side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
create that competition, and competition is really good in these kind of markets because if you don't have competition, then you're just gonna have shit like fucking FIFA and like NBA 2K always going on, where
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
just release half-baked games and just shoehorn
use
it
use
and
the
tell
same
you,
textures and stuff like that.
yep,
Yeah. Or they just released the last game from last year with no new updates, no nothing, just the roster, and that's it. Which
exactly.
is
And
just like.
speaking of speaking of that
uh,
nonsense, I don't know if you guys saw that article where like the 2K CEO just said, "Yeah, I think customers are ready now to pay $70 for our games." Like, how are you gonna make that decision for us?
I just think
oh,
EA, like,
oh Lord.
I don't know. I don't think they should say that for their own company. I can see other games saying that, like, um, I'll say like an indie company or games that are kind of like a hit or miss because some people like don't end up buying their games. Dishonored, for example. Since I'm looking at an article now, if Dishonored was $70, I would understand
Right, because that
because
is a full game from beginning
yeah,
to end without any microtransaction or aggressive like monetary thing in there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because these people got to feed their family too, and I mean
Dude,
they're doing time crunches and
not
stuff like that.
screw CEOs. They don't have to feed their family for shit because
No,
they
no,
have
no. I'm
so
not
many
talking about
fucking money.
CEOs. I'm
No, I'm
talking
Oh,
about
talking. He's talking about the
developers.
developers, the actual
no,
people
yeah,
who work on the
the
games,
developers. Yeah,
because yeah,
actually, yeah, I
they get
understand
treated
that.
like shit, man. They really do.
Yeah, because they're the one who are like the backbone of the entire game, but they don't even get paid as much as these CEOs who are sitting on in front of the company. They just keep getting bonuses every year, and the person who's on the ground, like actually developing the product, is not even getting half, like penny of that salaries. It's just like ridiculous, man.
It is.
Yeah, I
It's fucked.
mean,
It's fucked
just
up.
I
But
understand, but not on a degree where it's like, hey, NBA no, because like they get caught
Oh no,
multiple
NBA does not
occasions
need that
where,
shit, bro. They do
yeah,
not need a $70 price tag.
any the
That,
sports games in general, they're all
no
fucking
sports games need
garbage.
a
They're all
yeah, no sports
trash.
games need a $70 sports tag. I mean price tag because they're just released every year with the same nonsense every time, and yeah, $70 every year. I could do better shit with my $70 every year than buying a sports game for that every year. That's nonsense.
Yep,
yeah.
I agree.
Well,
Um.
it's
Well.
interesting.
Um. Yeah, we have a little bit of just a couple more game topics. Quickly wanted to talk about some Apex stuff going on. So, if you've been living under a rock, we currently have the Chaos Theory event going on. It's been pretty fun. They have a cool. I actually just got it. They have the cool Kraber skin if you get all the collection points or whatnot. But
I actually can't
looking,
wait to get that skin.
yeah, it kind of looks like a dragon wing. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. But looking beyond that, we've had some like leaks and stuff like that. There's like supposedly supposed to be some Chinatown collab, and then a War Games event, which I'm actually looking forward to that because the Wraith skin with her fucking Viking shit, I want that. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, yeah, Apex is in a good spot right now. I'm interested to see where it goes, like season 9 and 10, like in terms of like legends and who they choose to do or what have you. Like, because they just have like all these legends. Like I just remember when we first started playing, like season fucking 0. It was only like what, like 7 characters,
Yeah.
and it was just like, man, like I wonder if this game is gonna ever survive. And here we are, like fucking eight seasons later. It's
I mean, a
fucking
lot of people
insane.
came from Titanfall, and I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
I was one of those
it
people.
will probably like if it dies, that's probably when we'll get Titanfall 3, and I'll probably get that because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't think Apex is gonna fall off anytime soon, man.
no, it won't.
No, no, it
I
won't.
mean,
It won't.
if they keep doing the things that they're doing with the events and stuff like that, I mean, recently they did fully integrate like complete crossplay. Nintendo people actually got their Apex version, which I've been trying to teach my little sister how to play Apex. As hilarious as that's been going so far, it's been very fun. people on Nintendo honestly need to like play a few rounds by themselves because you guys, there's a huge learning curve clearly with people on Nintendo because when we be playing sometimes like y'all motherfuckers don't know how to fly, y'all know how to run.
Don't know how to get your shields up, which we
Sometimes
do
like when you're
enjoy
getting
that.
shot at, yeah, y'all don't like. Sometimes y'all are getting shot at. Y'all don't even like. You guys don't even move. You guys just stay there, frozen in a state of suspense. And man, I'm telling you, I've been getting a lot more kills recently because of this. Because yeah, your guys' bonehead thinking really gets you killed pretty quickly. And on a team, you guys suck, but it's very beneficial when you guys are the enemy. So I'm looking forward to the War Games Pathfinder since I'm a Pathfinder main. He has this really dope skin called Burgundy Knight. First of all, Burgundy is my favorite color, and this dude just looks like royalty. I mean, say that, give me that. I want that skin.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to say this as a Loba main. Fix her fucking bracelet, bro. Like, I
I don't
swear
know
to
what it is.
God,
I don't think.
like her teleporting ability. I mean, like, dude, it's been fucking broken for like I don't know how many seasons at this point. And they say they fixed it. I go to throw it, and guess what? She puts a little fucking well done manicured fucking fingers up, saying telling me no. I'm like, bro, it's literally on top of a building. Why can't I fucking go there, man? Like, it's just garbage. So please rework that shit for the love of
The
God.
struggles of a Loba main.
Like
Yeah.
seriously, because before,
Well,
man,
good
when
not to
she
have that
first
problem.
when she first came out, bro, you know this clutch shit I was doing. Like I remember this one game where both of my teammates died and these niggas were thirsting me, and I fucking outwitted them because of that bracelet. Like, and then now it's just fucking garbage right now. I'm like, bro, it's really not. Actually, you know what? Let me not say that. I was about to say it's really not that hard, but I'm not a game designer. Just please fix it, please. Um,
Yeah.
so moving on from Apex, I just actually want to quickly insert. I've never been a Final Fantasy fan, really. But I wanted to play 15, just never got around to doing it. I probably will when I get a PS5, whenever that happens. I have no fucking idea, but I want to get 16 as well. But the reason I bring it up is because I actually have been playing Final Fantasy 7. And these guys don't enjoy it that much, but that's because they played the later versions of it, Final Fantasy 15 and 16 or whatever have you. But me personally, this is my first like kind of introduction to this world, and I gotta say, yeah, I'm all for it. Like I'm a fan now. So when they release Part 2, Final Fantasy 7, I'll probably end up getting it. And yeah, I've been enjoying my time with it. If you don't know, it's free on PlayStation Plus. Go ahead and pick it up if you haven't already and try it out yourself. But yeah, I've been having a good time with it. So
The reason why I couldn't get into it is just because like I really wish I could. Just because the fact that I love the world of Final Fantasy as far as the aesthetics of it. I'm like their steampunk like aesthetic is just really appealing to me. But yeah, for me playing Final Fantasy 15 felt like a downgrade to me, just because of the fact that like I'm really a fan of jumping. I can't tell y'all how much I am for a game where a character can jump because feeling restricted like that is not it for me. And playing as like I almost said Link. Playing as like Cloud and stuff. Like he's an interesting character. Um, kind of has like that blonde Sasuke type where he's just kind of like
yeah,
brooding and like in a mood, but can also throw hands when necessary. But it's just like again, Final Fantasy 15 had this very non-linear world where actually I wouldn't even just say non-linear. Like it was so open world that it just seemed like it just seemed like it would had its own thing going. It seemed like a life service because you could you could eat like food you because you need that shit to survive. You can fish. You can do all these sort of things, and Final Fantasy VII had none of that, and it sucks because if I had played Final Fantasy VII first and then 15 later, I would have appreciated 7 a lot more.
Yep.
yeah. Whereas for
That's the
me,
same
that's
thing.
gonna be
That's the
my
same things I
experience.
had too.
Yeah, that's gonna be my experience
Yeah,
since I
you're
started off
lucky.
with this, and I haven't even touched 15. Like I said, I'll probably get it on PS5, and I want to get 16 as well because that one looks pretty cool. all the footage we've seen of
Like,
it.
I'm looking forward to 16 because I didn't get a chance to finish 15 yet. It's there's a lot going on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. So, we just have a couple topics left. Let's see here. So, this is interesting. So, everyone's excited for the Snyder Cut, right? And now here's some rumors here that apparently Justice League 2 and 3 could take us with a grain of salt, because these are people who say they have insiders that are apparently talking that part 2 and 3 could be possible, and they're saying that Zack Snyder may just take Wonder Woman 3 and take the reins of that, which I gotta say, I kind of hope that happens, because after Wonder Woman 2, that was yeah, it needs something different. Yeah.
You didn't enjoy the best female empowerment movie out there?
Fucking Cheetah.
Oh man,
She was flying and making jets invisible, man.
Izzy,
That's
you
the
can't
best
say
movie
that.
ever.
Izzy, you can't say that. That's not right for That's not right for the internet. The internet can't hear you say that.
Oh, sorry about that. Hashtag
Man.
invisible jets.
Hashtag invisible jets.
Honestly, I can't express how excited I am for the Snyder Cut. It's a 4 hour like kind of episodic movie because they have like different chapters and stuff like that. So Izzy, yeah, you don't have to watch it all in one go. You can
Oh
go
no,
by
I'm gonna watch it all in one go.
Oh,
I am
man.
too.
All right.
Yeah, nigga, I'm watching this shit
Right
at work, my boy.
Yeah.
That's gonna take 4 hours away.
I'm gonna burn out my retinas just from watching it. Like my eyes are gonna move away from it.
Yeah, because I seen the guy who plays a cyborg. I was happy for him because of the fact that he was saying he was excited, and he said he loved the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League because he
got more parts in it.
He got more parts, and it's just
cut
like
out completely. Everybody would like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, you're right. He did have more of a role and stuff like that because
because I'm pretty sure they said
really fucked him over.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they said like Cyborg is actually going to be the reason they even all like get together. It's not Batman; it's actually him.
Oh yeah, no, like
So.
he's the key. But no, I'm excited for him. I'm happy that Ray Fisher because he had to deal with his own. He got cut for the Flash, but I mean, that's not indefinite. Honestly, it's not indefinite. They can't even get together a fucking writer. So
yeah, I gotta say, is that Flash movie even gonna happen, man? Because like they keep saying all this shit that they plan on doing, and it's like, is it gonna actually?
They made an announcement. They made an announcement that the chick, I almost call her Tessa Thompson, but it's a chick, Kiersey Clemens is coming back as Iris West Allen, which really sucks that they had to actually, well, not sucks, but it's annoying that they even had to say that, even when you would assume that she was showing up. Like, it, fucking hell. But
yeah.
Because they keep adding more people on there, which leads me to believe that they are officially making it. It's just,
slow process.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done, man.
Yeah. How about you stop announcing shit and just actually do the movie? Because I mean, it sounds all good and well, but if we have to wait till like 2027 just to see it, I mean, are we really gonna care at that point? Probably not. So.
What, you don't want a Flash 2077, man?
Man, he could run there.
Exact. No cap. He really could. Like, fuck. And just fucking get it done, bro. Because I'm actually just all the stuff they've talked about that's gonna be in there. It sounds cool if it's actually gonna happen. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's 4 hours. Have you ever seen a 4-hour movie right there? Like everything that they're trying to jam pack in there. Because mind you, this is a 4-hour cut.
Apparently, it was supposed to be long.
Cut.
Yeah, it was supposed to be longer. Even. That was fucking insane.
Oh, 5 hours, man. 5 hours of just nothing but. Because I love these characters, and I also love how gritty it is. Because Marvel will never be brave enough to actually kill or heroes like that.
You know what? I feel like they won't, but I feel like at some point Marvel should think about doing some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of thing like,
Else,
huh?
Elseworld story.
That, but also just like, yeah, that. But like, you know how DC has that whole black label thing they have now for the movies, like that's what Joker falls under. I feel like Marvel should establish something like that where they can do
I mean,
more
they'll probably will with
mature
Deadpool.
stories and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Deadpool's a
Because
step in the right direction.
because like the thing is, that's why people were upset about Blade not being rated R because you need to have movies that are true to the character. If
Yeah,
Blade is known for saying I'm a bad motherfucker and you don't have him say that, that's weird. That's not faithful to the character. It's
yeah.
essential to keep those key elements in there in the film, and I'm hoping Deadpool reminds Disney that hey, we want a guy in red pajamas stabbing people repeatedly and making jokes about their penises.
Exactly. Like it's not that hard. Like you have Deadpool just and that makes me wonder too because I really like I don't know much about the character but I know that apparently he's hardcore like the whole Moon Knight show they're gonna be doing what is that gonna be like because apparently that nigga's hardcore as fuck so if that's PG-13 again like nigga what the fuck are you doing you guys need to just like commit and I've heard that they said they're gonna switch around Disney Plus apparently and there's gonna be a section for adults or something like that so
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see how
I'm with
that
you, bro.
turns out. But speaking of Disney, listen, here we go again with this Black Widow shit, man. Like instead, like me and Izzy have talked about this off mic just randomly because it's just stupid at this point. Recently, they say that they're just gonna be sticking to they're not gonna do it on Disney Plus or any simultaneous release. It's just gonna be going to theaters. And mind you, this movie is supposed to come out in May, so I'm not really sure what the logic is behind that. Considering like this pandemic is still around, theaters, like, I guess some places they're starting to open, but that doesn't mean everywhere. So I don't really see what the thought process is, considering uh, the money is probably not going to be coming in, considering that the amount of times you push this back, and is anyone even going to go and see this shit? Like, I just don't get it. Just you
I mean,
have no you have
they won't even let Tom Holland watch the movie. Tom
yeah.
Holland like asked Disney like, "Hey, can we watch one like Black Widow cuz it's just on the back shelf and we all like to watch it." And they're like, "No."
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's like you literally before I've said this before. You have no excuse because Warner Brothers with the HBO thing, like they've literally taken the dive and it paid off for them because as bad as Wonder Woman 2 was, it made a shit ton of money from that simultaneous release. So you really have no excuse not to do that with Disney Plus. Like it's just fucking dumb. Just release the damn movie, dude. Like
Well,
it's
that's
not
just
that hard.
temporary, right? For
Yeah, yeah, I know it's
rest of the
temporary
year.
for the year, but it's still in terms of like business acumen, like that's a smart move. I'm not saying Disney has to do it for every movie, obviously, but like it's just like, bro, like come on, it's not, it's not that serious. It's really not.
Well,
So
just hope and pray that that May 7 release actually happens. I mean, why it's going to be in theaters when it's only going to have 25% capacity anyway is
exactly,
honestly beyond me.
like I
But I
don't
mean,
know what type of money you think you're gonna be shoveling. You're not gonna get shit. Like it just
I
doesn't
think they're
make any
kind of
sense.
wanting. I think they kind of want to throw Black Widow away. Like I don't think they want it to take off as much. That's the
It's
thing
kind of fucked
that's
up.
what I'm kind of seeing because it's just um they never really took her serious as a character. You had one guy that was in Marvel that was in the MCU. He worked and he was basically saying like no one cares about Black Widow. That's completely untrue. I mean, a lot of people like Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of Natasha Romanoff, and yeah, the fact that it took
Mm,
so long just makes me believe that they really don't care.
no, I
Um,
don't think so. I agree.
but what we do care about that ended up happening or it ended last Friday is the WandaVision finale. Now, Izzy,
Hmm.
did you watch the entirety of WandaVision?
Yeah, he
Yep.
watched it.
Okay, cool. What did you think about Pietro?
Theatre.
I don't really care about that guy. Like right off the bat, I think the story was Wanda centric anyway. So anybody else that added in there is just an Easter egg or just an exposition. So I don't really care much about that either. I just wanted to see how
Got
she
her
would have
chaos
dealt.
magic
Yeah,
and
yeah,
mhm.
that and how she would deal with her trauma that she's feeling of grief, and
Yeah.
it delivered in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Me and Gamdo talked about it. He said he was slightly disappointed. He'll give his take, but for me, what I realized, especially during that last episode, when I saw the runtime for it, I already just immediately knew to just temper my expectations. Which this will lead into another topic, like in terms of tempering expectations, because like a lot of people for some reason just like thought that for some reason X-Men were gonna appear or like Fantastic Four. This is like, bro, like you are just setting yourself up for disappointment because like they're not gonna do that. It really was by the end of a series about Wanda dealing with her trauma and showing her origins and how she had her powers and where she's going to go. It's I thought it was great by the end, and they haven't said they haven't confirmed the season 2 or anything, but they said like it could be possible. Like they're not going to rule it out. So you never know. I thought it was good for what it was.
I mean, the reason why I was disappointed, and I had tagged an article because like this showrunner here is a doofus because I was disappointed for the runtime and just the way that the pandemic has really screwed over WandaVision because
Mm-hmm. I will
WandaVision had a
agree with
lot of
that.
stuff going on with that right there. As far as just if the pandemic wouldn't have happened, it would have been slightly different. There would have been characters that you would have expected, like Doctor
Doctor
Strange,
Strange
because
and
Doctor Strange wasn't able to show up because of Benedict
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 Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch was not able to film for the finale because he was stuck in New Zealand and stuff like that. And the other thing I was just disappointed about was I get that what they were trying to do with Evan Peters is like Quicksilver, but the fact that they didn't. Let me say it like this: when they introduced Evan Peters as Quicksilver, it was natural for everyone to just assume that there was going to be an X-Men, not a crossover per se, but an X-Men Easter egg because the fact that this person is known for playing the Fox's version of Quicksilver. And logically, what I'm thinking is too, because that's what it was alluding to throughout episode 6 through 9, that once that hex was gone, I would assume that Quicksilver would have went back to his Fox would have went back to his Fox reality, and if he was whatever spell he was placed on, it was making him believe that he was the Aaron Taylor Johnson version because he said a lot of things throughout the film, or not the film, the episodes that were like leading me to believe like, hey, like he could be from the Fox universe, and no, he wasn't. He was just like some guy. They
Ralph
basically pulled a
Boner,
yeah, they basically pulled a
Mandarin.
Mandarin thing, and it was really annoying. Like I don't like it when they do that because like the fake out stuff it's not fun. Like it's
Yeah,
not fun for me as like a movie.
I will say that when they do
One
that,
second.
they do that.
The when the showrunner was like, "Oh, I didn't expect the fans to assume that there was an X-Men connection." Like, how the fuck do you not understand how like fans who understand that there is a multiverse coming not gonna make a correlation between the Fox universe and the Marvel Cinematic Universe? They've been teasing this thing for like 2 years basically, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen." Like, he was just Evan Peters, another character from another universe. They're not supposed to make these sort of connections. What time are you on, man? Like, what kind of stuff are you drinking at night? Because like that shit is weird. But like the finale for me was okay. It's just that like, uh, fucking pandemic, man.
Yeah. I will say I slightly agree with that point, just because like they have done that quite a few times. Like I will say the when it annoyed me the most was I think Far From Home when they alluded to the multiverse, but then like Mysterio was just lying. So it was like, well, why would you even do that? Like it's just like it's kind of just like you could have just went with that, but I mean, I guess it'll be in Multiverse of Madness where shit will really pop off, and you'll see because they said there's going to be alternate versions of big Avengers characters and all sorts of crazy shit. So I guess we'll
I mean, I
see.
didn't really care when they did it with Spider-Man. I knew that was a lie because Spider-Man in this current form, or when it was in Far From Home, he didn't know anyone that was going to be in a multiverse like that had powers like that can access the
No,
multiverse. Like
no, no. I meant
they made him seem like he was smart, like Quentin Beck was smart, but
yeah.
he doesn't come from another universe.
I meant like when he was on his whole tirade, like, yeah, this is Earth 616, and I hail from Earth, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that was kind of unnecessary, like to put that in there. Like, you could have
No,
just
I
like,
mean I understand why they did that. Like they had to lie because people already know who Mysterio is. They know he's a villain,
yeah,
and
he was a fucking douchebag.
I understand. Like I said, I understand why he did that. Like that was fine. It's just when you have it in the form of WandaVision, where you have two characters, technically three, who are capable of warping reality and bringing things from another plane of existence into another place. Those kind of things, it sucks when that ends up happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
So
sure. I actually have some news about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Apparently, like it got screened early, of course, and people were saying um, it will be longer than WandaVision every episode. I believe. Like I think they said they're shooting for the 45, 50 minute mark for every episode. So that's good.
yeah, really. They're 6 episodes though, so it's shorter, but longer episodes.
Yeah. So that's good. And yeah, after that we'll have looking forward to Loki. I'm actually that's someone I'm actually excited for, just because Tom Hiddleston, he's a great actor, and the Loki character is always fun, and it'll be fun to see how he's fighting his alternate versions of himself, and I guess we'll be going to alternate realities and all types of funky shit. So that'll be fun. Um, yeah, and I mean, we have our last two topics here with the Henry Cavill stuff and the Jeremy Renner stuff. It seems like every episode we just talk about like cancel culture, but it really is just this
I'm gonna
fucking
let you handle
the
that 'cause
fucking
I really don't want to talk about
it's a
it.
fucking cancer, man. Like basically, you have people who are trying to cancel this nigga Henry because he dated the Gina Carano in the past or some shit. And then you have Jeremy Renner, the guy who plays Hawkeye. He was being targeted by a Twitter hoax. It's kind of like if you guys remember the whole B.O.B. thing when people thought he was dead and he had that breakdown. That was hilarious when he had that breakdown. But he got targeted by like a RIP thing on Twitter, and people just apparently hate his ass. I don't know. It's just. I don't really know what to say, man. I mean, we've kind of talked about it into the ground. I don't understand cancel culture to this extent. It's fucking dumb.
Well,
Um,
it was useful in the beginning, but now it's just becoming how do I say, uh, an attack on just people living
yeah,
and their well-being, because like just because you don't like a person doesn't mean you should go after that job, man.
yeah,
Because people always have their own opinion about stuff. So I mean, sometimes there are just despicable things that people do that you can like protest against them for that. But come on, if somebody's making a living acting and they say something stupid, it doesn't mean that's who they are. It just means they say something stupid, and if they apologize for it, yeah. But if they don't, if you're gonna be going after somebody for something that they did like years, like 10 or 15 years ago, come on, man, get out of here with that nonsense.
yeah. It's fucking dumb. But it's the world we live in today. So what can you do? But yeah, I don't think there's much else to talk about. I think we pretty much got. Oh, actually, no, because we were gonna title this fucking episode "Tiny and His Wife Part 2" anyway. So this is a quick one. So basically, more women, like it's like from the range of like 12 to 17 at this point, like amount of like women that have come out and accused like Ti and his wife Tiny of sexual abuse and stuff, and just like nasty shit. And allegedly, they tried to settle, but the prosecutors declined, and nah, they want them niggas to serve time. So that leads them to believe, yeah, they were probably up to some nasty shit, which I don't know, man. Like it's just these rich people. You just think they can do whatever they want. I guess I don't
Uh,
know, but
I'll say the prosecutor's going about it a smart way. Get paid, then send them to prison.
yeah, because like that shit is just
He can't just take the money. It just means that people could just pay shit off and do terrible things and not get held accountable for it. So yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
one thing I
definitely.
said too, because it's just like usually a lot of people in that sort of situation they would ask for money, but like the fact that they didn't want that, yeah, they probably did that shit. Like
yep.
Yep,
so,
nasty fucks.
it leads me into my personal thing because I don't usually go too much into like my personal life, and as far as like relationships amongst other people. I see relationships as a business investment. Sometimes you make lucrative investments, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you end up having an investment in a business, and it turns out to be complete shite. And sometimes you just gotta burn that shit down. And recently, I don't know. It's just like I'm not sure if it really is the pandemic at this point anymore, but just the way that people are set up is just absolutely weird to me. Like, for further context, like I was talking to a person for about like 6 months, and you know we kind of had this understanding that like the pandemic was gonna affect our lives, and we're not gonna see each other like physically for a very long time. So we kind of just kept it like as friends. And for me personally, like when that like when we come to that mutual agreement that we're going to be friends, I expected to have this like agreement that hey, since we're going to be friends, like we could just take it easy. We don't have to have any expectations. Like we can just like keep the conversation going. And one thing I'll say as like advice is if there is no effort even on a friendship thing, um don't waste your time. Don't waste your time with the person who's not willing to put forth the effort, because one of the worst things you can do, and I'm speaking for people who are like in their 20s, like the worst thing you can do is put all your chips in one basket and then not see the signs that hey, uh maybe you should be doing bigger and better things and not settle down, because if you do that, you get disappointed, you're going to be stuck.
Yep.
So, yeah, with that in mind, that's where I end.
Yeah. I think that's a good segment, honestly. Like another little small thing. If it's I don't know, it's probably you know. Just so you have that in the back of your mind.
Oh,
Anyway,
if it's I don't know, I would say sure, but I'm not going to stick around to find out.
yeah, yeah, it's a nice little way to tie that up. But yeah, I think that's it. We're at like an hour and 23. It's pretty good, honestly. Pretty good podcast this time around. If you guys have anything else to add, or I don't know.
Oh, I'm good.
All right,
No.
all right. Well, you were listening to Kai Bean Podcast, episode 10. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun shit, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.